As someone who graduated high school in 1999, I've got a real fondness in my heart for the 90s. It was a magical time. Jinko jeans, chain wallets, pogs, ska music, sleeping with your teachers. Oh wait, that's not right. That wasn't a normal thing to do in the 90s. What the hell are we doing here? This movie is absolutely insane. Welcome to You've Got Mails. Welcome back to Jeopardy! You've got mails, guys? You're on the board. Please select your next topic. Alec, we'll take movies that have not aged well for 2000. Welcome to You've Got Mails, everybody.
Wow.
I'm Jason. I'm here with CJ. And on today's episode, we will be talking about 1999's Never Been Kissed, in parentheses, by someone who was age appropriate.
I gave you some crap last week for, going rogue and picking a movie of your own. And this makes me feel vindicated because, look, we can randomly choose these movies and be just as screwed over. We don't need your help. This one was...
Oh man. Well, let's just jump right into it. This movie, I can't wait to just pick this thing apart because there are a lot of issues with this movie. This movie gave me the ick. Like, I was icky all over.
It was really hard to even pay attention to this movie when it got to the point, constantly I'm just thinking, this is very wrong. All of these people should be, taken outside and smacked a little bit.
This movie ends with half this cast in jail, in the real world. Let me ask you a question before we get into this movie.
Oh, ask me a question. Yes, sir.
Well, do you think the sensibilities and, the morals in 1999 in regards to, statutory rape were very different than they are now?
Let's go back. This is actually when I started high school in 1999.
I graduated in 1999. So this movie, let me tell you, I did get some real sentimental, tinglies during this movie. Because this movie was 90s as fuck.
And back then, okay, I can remember, not okay to sleep with students. That was a thing. People were going to jail for it all the time.
Yeah.
There were a lot of stories you'd hear where, the high school boy was sleeping with the teacher.
Yeah.
And back then, not okay by any standard.
No.
But back then, it was less frowned upon, where people would be like, all right, go, buddy, go.
It was like, you watched South Park, right?
Oh, yeah.
It was like the cops from South Park, but they were like, oh, good for him. Good for him.
This movie...
I don't know how it was okay then.
Walks up to the line, crosses the line, picks the line up, and beats children with it.
Well, let me introduce you to a girl, CJ. Her name is Drew Barrymore, and she plays our main character, Josie Geller.
Very well.
Yeah, she's good in this. I'm going to be honest.
I actually like her character.
I don't like Drew Barrymore that much.
No?
No, not in anything. I don't know why.
50 First Dates?
No. There's something about her voice. It always sounds like she's on the verge of crying, and it bothers me.
She is a good dork.
She is. She's great. She's great. So, and she plays that to a T in this movie. So she works for the Chicago Sun-Times as the youngest copy editor at the newspaper. A bit of a grammar Nazi.
Yeah, nobody likes that.
Yeah, she gets pretty annoying right out of the gate. So, we...
As somebody with a thick Yinzer accent who's been corrected my entire life, you can go to hell.
Yeah.
I didn't meet you in the English department.
Right. So we meet her. She's on her way to work. We get a quick little voiceover of her kind of setting some things up, just basically where she works and what she does, who she is. And then we see her in the office. We kind of get introduced to a few of the main characters in the office. We get Molly Shannon.
A surprisingly hot Molly Shannon?
You think?
I thought so.
All right. Well, hey, that's fine.
Not something I ever thought I'd say.
So Molly Shannon plays Anita. She's kind of the office, for lack of a better word, a whore? Can I say that?
They do. I wrote Molly fucks.
Yeah. Yeah. So
because she plain out says right in the beginning, she's counting she's got a kill count.
Yeah. Our first introduction to Anita, she comes into Josie's office and says, "Guess who I boned last night?" And she goes, "Rob from Op-Ed? How did you know? Because yesterday you said that you were going to go on a date with Rob from Op-Ed and bang him?"
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, okay. So we get a little quick introduction to her. She's kind of the best friend to Josie at the newspaper. And then we get John C. Reilly as Gus.
This is a pre-Will Ferrell John C. Reilly.
Yeah, but
he's still awesome.
John C. Reilly can do it all. He's funny. He's a great comedic actor. I've seen him in serious roles. He's a great serious actor. He was given none of that to do in this movie. He's basically just there. Like, there's no...
That's what I said. This is like pre him meeting Adam McKay and Will Ferrell.
But even like...
Where he kind of came out of his shell then. And then he did like the Dewey Cox movie.
Yeah,
Step Brothers.
I'm sure he was in other stuff. I do know he was in Chicago before this, which is a musical, and he actually has a musical performance in the movie.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, so he's in that. And somebody really missed the boat on John C. Reilly in this movie because they didn't give him anything to work with. Nothing. It's not his fault.
Well, they had comedic legend David Arquette. They had the right for that guy.
You mean former WCW World Heavyweight Champion David Arquette?
I'm sorry, the champ. We will refer to him as the champ for now on.
Put some respect on that name. He's up there with the greats, Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, David Arquette. Yes, yeah, he's up there. So we get to meet Gus. We kind of find out that Josie, even though she's a copy editor, desperate to be a reporter. And she's constantly leaving story ideas for her boss, Gus. And he's even says that he's used 4 or 5 of them in the past, month or so. So she's obviously got some good ideas. They just don't think she has what it takes to be a reporter for some reason. I don't know. She's very eloquent. I don't know why they wouldn't give her a shot.
I didn't get. She seems
like the smartest person at this newspaper. But they will not offer her a story.
Maybe it's just her presence doesn't really command respect in any way.
Well, she is kind of timid, mousy. We also get the classic rom-com trope where she is a woman who is all about control and everything has to be precise and pinpoint. She doesn't have any fun in her life, CJ. She needs to let loose a little bit.
She needs a manic pixie dream underage boy to help her out.
That is correct. So we get that little interaction of her and, what her wants and desires are. And I don't mean underage boys. I mean to be a news reporter. Then we get a little scene with her and the girls at lunch. We get another great actress in this movie. Octavia Spencer. Oscar award-winning Octavia Spencer.
This is before she was Octavia Spencer, though.
I'll tell you what. I don't know if they give out Oscars for casting. But whoever cast this movie cast a bunch of upcoming stars that weren't stars at the time. And I'm just like, who?
I mean, when you have
Svengali picked all these people out of a fucking lineup and was like, oh yeah, I got your Jessica Alba's, your James Franco's, your John C. Reilly's, your Octavia Spencer's. I got them all. I'm just keeping them in a closet over here. They're ready to go.
Let's cast Octavia Spencer, but let's just make her a stereotypical chick that just sits in the back and makes snarky comments. It's like, you've got Oscar power here. She's always been good.
They also kind of sneakily fat shamed her without fat shaming her. Did you notice anything? Did you notice what I noticed?
She's always eating.
Not only is she always eating, so the scene that comes right after the first scene is it's Drew Barrymore's character, Molly Shannon and Octavia Spencer in the lunchroom. They're going to have lunch. Octavia Spencer comes to sit down at the lunch table with not one lean cuisine meal, but 4 stacked on top of each other, and then eats them all during the lunch scene. I was like,
sounds about right. I've been on a diet.
I was like, this is kind of shitty.
Yeah.
Regardless, they kind of start talking about Josie's character needs to find a man. She doesn't have a boyfriend. That's what she needs because, Molly Shannon thinks sex solves everything and is trying to get her to open up a little bit and get herself, because, if you're an uptight woman with that, career conscious, you need some D in your life. That's one of the big tropes of these movies.
Well, Molly doesn't need it in her life. She just needs it in her.
Yeah, exactly. At all times.
Yeah.
From everyone that works there, from Luis in the mailroom to Rob from Op-Ed and everybody in between. The name of this movie is a little misleading because it's called Never Been Kissed. It turns out that Josie has been kissed by a boy before, but never in a meaningful way. And she kind of describes this storybook that we kiss and everything melts away and you're the only person you think about and it's beautiful and terrifying. She goes in this long rant and cries in the middle of the lunchroom. I'd probably pull my chair back, pick up my 4 lean cuisines and just change tables at that point. But they're good friends, so they didn't. So we get that little bit, sets up this whole thing where she's never had a true love. And then we see a little bit of her at home. She's a quilter, a knitter. She makes pillows.
She's a turtle keeper.
She has turtles. She's got a lot of interests. And then she takes a pillow that she just knitted into her bedroom and puts it on her bed with probably no less than 50 other pillows. And then I kind of had to wonder, where does this woman sleep at night?
That's where I draw the line. I think this is like the
50's too many?
no, just more than 2.
Just more, well, yeah.
I have 2 pillows on my bed because there's 2 people.
I mean, I'll be honest. I'm a single man. I sleep in a bed by myself. I have 4 pillows. I have 2.
What do you build a fucking fort?
I have 2 I use 2 under my head when I sleep. I like 2.
Okay.
I like a little support. And then I have 2 that when I lay on my side, I spoon them. And I hug them.
You like practice?
Because I'm lonely. and I sleep with my pillows, CJ.
Wow.
Yeah. They've got names and I draw little faces. No, not really. Regardless, only 4, not 50. So we get that kind of a glimpse into her, kind of sad, quiet. You're meant to see it as sad.
This seems like the perfect life for me, though. You just go home and you
got
feed
turtles,
some turtles
she knits,
and you don't bother anybody.
She's listening to some good music. I will say, music in this movie also really did it for me because it was like peak 90s. So you had a little bit of everything.
The only thing it was missing was the 90s song that was in every one of these movies is Flagpole Sitter.
Oh, yeah.
I got to the end, I was like, why didn't they play Flagpole Sitter? Like, it should have been in this.
There's a lot of songs that could have been in this, but they did a nice job with the soundtrack. It really, like this whole movie, honestly, nostalgia trip for me. So we get a little glimpse into her life, and then we go back to the office, and we get our boy, Gary Marshall.
That's Gary Marshall.
He plays the head of the newspaper, yeah.
This guy is a tyrant.
There he is, yeah. I mean, I feel like that's probably how he is on the set, too.
I was terrified of this man.
He's just walking around with a stick at
Yeah.
all times, like he's going to beat someone. We come into the office, we get Josie and her boss Gus and Anita come into the meeting just as he's firing someone for doing a shitty job on an undercover story.
Yes, he's firing Dutton.
Dutton?
Put a pin in that. It's coming back later.
Okay.
Boy Dutton.
Boy Dutton. So fires Dutton, and then he says he has these great ideas for undercover pieces. That's what they need for a great cover story to kind of get the paper like back in the, I wouldn't say prominence, but they're looking for like the next big thing.
Yeah, he's got real J. Jonah Jameson vibes.
He does, yeah.
Except for somehow more angrier and more dangerous.
Yeah. He's like, get me pictures of Spider-Man, underage Spider-Man in his underwear.
Yeah.
Josie, you're in charge. So he tells a little story about how he was sitting around the dinner table with his children, and one was eating peanuts and had like a bad reaction, and he said to himself, I don't even know my own kids. Like, I don't know my kids. This is the idea for the story. We need to go undercover at a school and figure out what these high school kids are doing. What are they up to? What are their lives like? And without even like any hesitation, he just says to Josie, he's like, Geller, you enroll in school on Friday. This is your story. She's never done a story before.
And then, not only that, he puts it on her head and John C. Reilly's.
Yeah, he didn't ask for this.
If this fails, you're both fired, and I'm probably going to meet you in the alley with a stick and beat the shit out of you.
Yeah. It'll be public floggings at noon and 4.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of weird that like he just chose her. I guess when you looked at the table of people, there was literally no one else there that could pass for a high school student.
And I will say, normally I get a little uptight about the ages, 25-year-olds playing high school students.
Yeah.
She was actually 25 when they shot this movie.
Yeah.
She's playing a 25-year-old and can sort of pull off the high school look. Like, she can age down a little bit.
I'll be honest, most of the high school kids in this movie actually looked like high school kids.
I agree.
Now, the funny thing is, the teenage boy, Guy, who she is, I guess, for the lack of a better word, interested in, which is weird to say, he was actually 2 years older than her. I think he was 27 when they filmed this, and he looks like a high school kid, so...
Yeah, he passes.
Yeah, they all pretty much passed.
They don't have, what's-his-face from Step Up in the background.
Just 6'6" Channing Tatum walking around?
Yeah, just growing a mustache by thinking about it.
Hey, you guys going to prom? What's up? So, our next scene, we are introduced to ex-WCW World Heavyweight Champion, David Arquette. He plays Rob, who is Josie's brother. She's trying to get his car, because he drives like an old beater Pinto, and she thinks it's a better high schooler car than her Buick LeSabre.
What was the point of that? Like a high schooler, you just drive to school in the car that you have.
It was a shoehorn way. Well, we talked about this on an episode. I think it was the Valentine's Day episode where the one high school girl was driving around in a Volkswagen Bug, like convertible.
Yes.
And that just seems to be like another trope in like these like young adult rom-coms where they do always drive like some kind of weird vintage car. Like every kid, because I guess you're supposed to think like well, these kids can't afford them themselves, so they're not going to have new cars. So, like, they're getting, like, hand-me-downs or used cars. But, I mean, we've all been in high school before. There's a lot of people whose parents just buy them cars or give them cars. Like, it's not unusual to see a high school kid driving a somewhat newer model car. Maybe not brand new,
Yes.
but 3 or 4 years old. It doesn't have to be from the 1970s.
I'm going to tell you just a quick high school story.
Okay.
So, I think you know this, but, when I was about halfway through high school, I moved out of my house, moved into a house with a couple other guys.
I did not know this.
Yeah, I was about 16 or so. I have what we call a non-linear life. I did not follow all the rules that way. Moved in with a couple of guys from my high school. We had a Cavalier.
Wait, then you all lived together?
Yeah.
With no adult there?
A house mother. Like one of the guys, it was his house and his mother owned the place.
Okay.
She kept the rules, but they were still loose rules.
Okay. Did she live there?
Yes,
Okay.
but it was the party house.
Okay.
It was great, actually.
It sounds like a good time.
But I was going to a school where I was a nobody. Nobody knew who I was. I had transferred in my 11th grade year. I was completely under the radar.
Yeah.
You know that list they have, like, not pictured in the book?
Yeah.
I didn't make the list. I wasn't even on the not pictured list.
He was in the not listed on the picture list.
But this car made me think of my roommate was dating a girl who happened to have a lot of money.
Okay.
And had a Porsche.
Ooh.
And would often, like, wake me up at 5 a.m. be like, we're taking the Porsche to drop you off at school.
Oh, nice.
So I was just this kid. Nobody even knew who I was. We'd pull up in, like, the Porsche. And I'd get out, like, stretch, walking to school. I don't know why that made me think of it. It was the only thing. Because everybody else, like, other than that, we had a Chevy Cavalier.
Yeah.
Which...
Everybody had a Chevy Cavalier in 1990.
Yeah, because
in the
you
90s.
could find parts for it on the side of the road.
Yeah. Like, I think I knew at least, I would say 5 to 10 people that I was at least somewhat relatively close friends with all drove Chevy Cavaliers. That was the car of the 90s.
Absolutely. But yeah, for a couple weeks there, I was super cool. Yeah. It was a mysterious thing.
CJ, in my eyes, you were always cool.
You didn't know me.
No, well, I still assume you were cool. I would have hung out with you. Especially if I knew you had your own house. Jesus.
Yeah, it was a great party house.
You should have been the coolest kid in school.
It was fun. Also, had to sober up by the time I was like 19.
Well, you'll have this. How's that going for you?
Not great.
So we get the scene where she's trying to get her car, she's trying to get her brother's car so she can use it instead. And we find out that he has a very, just oddly specific, like, niche job.
It's a tiki-themed post office?
Yeah, I thought that was weird.
Is that a government post office?
No, it couldn't. There's no possible way it could be. I don't think they're...
Yeah, so it's like a UPS.
Yeah, basically. It's like a parcel store, like a box store or whatever. So, when you walk in, a guy gives you a lei and everything's got tiki shit all over it. Like, I would not send my mail from there. I assume it's not getting to where it's supposed to go. It can't be a good business model.
No.
Nobody else was in the store at the time. So we get, and then she kind of tells him the plan that she's enrolling in high school, and he reminds her, like, do you remember what high school was like for you? And we get a flashback to, like, everyone in the cafeteria just chanting Josie Grossi at her, and she is done up to look, braces, like, kind of gross, dirty hair. Like, he tells her at one point, like, you never washed your hair in high school. Like, no wonder they, called you that.
Oh, the champ, David Arquette, he has a great line.
Yeah.
He says, I would have never started calling you that if I knew it would have caught on.
Yeah, so he's the whole reason that she got this horrible nickname.
That joke, I liked it.
There were some funny parts that landed in this movie. It was just all the weird stuff that I can't get around, which we're going to get to here real soon. So, she has a flashback to the high school years. You find out that she was not a popular kid in high school. So then we get a scene where she's in her room and she has hair dye on the bed, a bunch of, like, pictures of, like, different hairstyles, like a bunch of clothes and stuff. And I was like, here we go. We're getting a glow up. This is the first time we've gotten a glow up in a movie where she's looked worse after the glow up.
This would have made sense. In this story, she was probably in high school 7 years before this point.
Yeah.
So even in 1993, kids did not dress the way that she is dressed right at this time.
No, I think she was trying to dress like the kids do now. So here's the thing. She looks worse after the glow up. I do believe it's intentional. She even says that, she's not going to let Anita dress her again. She's wearing, like, a white feather boa thing. They ask her if she's wearing a chicken. Like, she looks ridiculous. Her hair is real poofed out. It's bad. She's got makeup just caked on. And like her face, she looks like a vampire. Like she is white. And I'm pretty sure that this was all meant to just show that she's not really good at this. Like she doesn't do her makeup.
She's a great copy editor, undercover reporter.
No, like she's not a fashionista. She doesn't understand clothes. She doesn't understand makeup. She doesn't understand hair. So first day at school, already off to a bad start because all the cool girls. And we definitely got strong Mean Girls vibes from this movie. This came before Mean Girls, but there was a lot of Mean Girls vibes. There's a group of the 3 cool chicks. Jessica Alba and the other 2. I didn't know who the other 2 actresses were, but Jessica Alba stuck out to me. They're kind of the mean clique. We find out, she walks in to her first class, and she's late, and the teacher, who is a woman, it's Spanish class, because there's a sombrero involved, makes her wear a sombrero because she was late. So, great teaching. Like, new kid in school, you're going to make her wear a sombrero and then stand in front of the class and tell some things about herself. That's not fucking anxiety-inducing or terrifying at all.
That's bad teaching.
Very bad. So we get that, and then as she's up there and she's starting to talk to the class, the door opens, and a boy walks in, another student. She at first kind of hallucinates and sees her high school crush Billy, who we've seen in the flashback, is like the guy that she was so in love with in high school, one of the cool kids, and he was the it boy in high school. She sees him for a moment, then it fades away, and it's a new, still a boy, but the boy that goes to this school's it guy.
Can we emphasize the word boy?
Yeah,
yes,
absolutely.
This is a child. She's a grown-ass human being.
This boy is probably 17 years old. She's 25. She tells everybody, I'm 17. She's posing as a 17-year-old. This boy, whose name is Guy, walks into the classroom, and yet again, we get
sploosh.
A facial sploosh.
Yes.
She is hot for this 17-year-old boy.
It's a fucking easy rule. If somebody is under 18, don't be attracted to them. Is that hard to do?
No,
it's not like get it.
And it's not like, this guy looks old for his age. You are in a high school, You didn't see this guy in the mall and see him and think, oh, he's attractive, and then find out he's 17 and go, oh, no, I could never. You know that he's underage when he walks in that door.
Yeah.
And your face went sploosh.
Maybe it's another undercover.
Such disappointment. So, we get a little bit of sploosh from her. Then we move on to our next super inappropriate relationship, because the next class is English class. She comes in, she tries to sit with the mean girls, they tell her no. Lily Sobieski.
Love her.
Love her too. I don't think I knew much about her until, I know of her, because you don't forget a name like Lily Sobieski. But in this movie, wonderful. She kind of plays like the bookish nerd. Her name is Albus.
Albus.
Josie sits next to her, and then she offers to share her book. It's a nice little moment like, hey, you're the new girl. Let me be your friend. All right? Then we get introduced to Mr. Coulson. Just handsome-ass Mr. Coulson, who is obviously much older than the students. We don't get a sploosh face from Josie on this one. Like, she doesn't see him and immediately go, oh, this is a handsome man. No, she was more attracted to the 17-year-old boy that walked into the classroom a little bit earlier. But we get, Mr. Coulson starts teaching some stuff about Shakespeare. He asks what a particular word means. None of the class know. Josie, of course, great with words.
Of course.
Raises her hand, gives a great explanation of what it is, way beyond her years, if she were, in fact, finger quotes, 17, which she's not. But for a 17-year-old who you think is 17, this is a very smart individual. And this is when the teacher's face goes sploosh.
And he asks her straight out, are you 17? And all I could think was, he's asked a lot of women this. Like, this guy, this isn't his first rodeo.
But hey, at least he asked the question, are you sure you're 17? Which she confirms.
Mm-hmm.
So he's still splooshing.
Oh.
Fucking ridiculous.
My stomach feels like I'm on a roller coaster right now thinking about these people.
So from here, we kind of get to see where Josie's like fitting in the school, in the
mathletes.
Yeah, what are they called? The
denominators.
Yeah, it's like the math club. So
and I have a little stuff on, like, these guys are amazingly hostile.
The Denominators?
Yeah.
It's like a gang. So,
Like, they're not the geeks hiding in lockers, and they're, like, when they see the popular kids, they come out guns a-blazing.
yeah. All right, so how we get into this, it makes me think of this. They leave the school on the first day, and Josie walks outside, and the car's gone. Like, her brother's car is just gone. Aldous comes out and says, oh, they do this to all the kids on their first day. Like, they push it somewhere, and they hide it. She helps her find the car, and then offers her, and this is what you're talking about. She offers her in a very strange way. She's like, I don't want to go all Godfather on you here, but we have a little group, and we can offer you a certain amount of protection if you join us.
That's what I mean. Like,
this group is the math club.
Lily Sobieski? Sobieski? She gave off some vibes. Like, I'm a little dangerous.
Yeah, and the whole crew does seem a little unhinged, if I'm being honest. Like,
absolutely. And this was a pre-Columbine movie.
Yes.
So like, the geek being a little angry and a little dangerous, like, back then, I guess, played.
Yeah. Now you're kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah, just get in the locker, kid.
So then we get a little bit of a montage, which I love a good montage. There's a few in this one. Her kind of like going through the motions with the Denominators. They have a couple of contests. They win. She's clearly starting to fit in with the group. They're all wearing matching sweaters. It's kind of nice,
Well, you skipped over, like, one of the best parts of this movie.
What is that?
When they find the car on the field, did you clock what the band was playing?
Yeah, the Simpsons theme song. I'm a huge Simpsons fan.
What was that all about? Like, what were they just like, hey, throw the Simpsons theme
I don't
song
really know. Like, I don't know if this movie was... maybe Drew Barrymore's just a big Simpsons fan.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I thought it was goofy. It caught my eye for a second.
Yeah. Caught your ear.
Caught my ear.
Caught your ear.
And one of the few times in this movie I was taken out of this movie by something pleasant.
Yeah, right? Like, this isn't an age inappropriate relationship that I'm watching right now. This is a nice throwback to an animated series that I enjoy. So we get that. We get a few interactions with Josie and Gus, her boss. She keeps pitching different ideas for the school thing, and it's what are they serving the kids for lunch? Just like stupid, like, shit that's not going to sell, news stories. And Gus pretty much says, like, sex sells. We need to know, like, what's going on with these kids, who's doing what, like, where's the dirt? Like, they want to really get into it. So even this is a much older man is trying to get her to find out about, like, high school kids' sex lives.
Okay. All right.
You're having a hard time with this.
At some point, all right, I'm no movieologist, but I understand when you first cast a movie, you get the cast into a room, you do something called a table read, right?
Yeah.
Everybody gets the script.
Yeah.
Like, this means like 40 to 50 adults sat around a table, read this script, got to the very end, and were like, this is great, let's make this movie.
Yeah. I don't know.
They need a Nuremberg trial for these fucking people.
That's what I said. I don't understand. Like, I don't know. Like, I kind of remember 1999. I don't feel like it was like this.
No.
But apparently this was all okay then. So, the stories don't work for him. We get another scene with Aldous and Josie. They're hanging out. They take a little ride. And we see that there's a place called the Court, which is like the old movie theater where all the cool kids hang out. It looks like the goddamn Thunderdome from Mad Max. There's like just fire,
burning
barrels, and like people like on like rollerblades with like fucking baseball bats. Like it kind of reminded me of like the movie The Warriors. Like,
I was just thinking the baseball furies could pop out from behind a wall.
Yeah, like it was very much like a scary scene. Like if I rolled up on that, I would just keep on going. I wouldn't be like, wonder what's happening in here. You'd probably get like beat up and mugged or something. Aldous tells Josie, well, this is where all the cool kids hang out after school. Where are these kids' parents, I'd like to know. Where's anyone's parents in this movie? There's not the only two adults in this movie at this school. There's only two teachers. One's the crazy Spanish teacher, and the other one's a goddamn pedo. We find out that this is where the cool kids hang out, and Guy's crew hangs out. Guy comes over to the window and kind of shoos them off. And this is where we find out that he calls Aldous Alpo. Like dog food, because this kid wasn't really good at coming up with like
real clever, buddy,
names for other people. So next day we get a scene with Josie's in the office, and Gus comes up to her and shows her like a newspaper article about the court, saying like this is where the cool kids hang out, which leads me to ask the question, and I have a theory that maybe we can hash out throughout the rest of this podcast. Is there another undercover student in this school?
Let's put a pin in that, too. I got stuff on this.
Okay, because they get scooped multiple times.
And this made me stop and think, like I said, this is pre-9/11,
Yeah.
Columbine.
Yeah.
This is actually in one of the best times of my life, like 1998, 99.
Yeah.
Not just like personally for me, I think for all of America.
Yeah.
Like the bubble hadn't burst
The
yet.
90s were great, man.
We
I
were
love
still,
the 90s.
yeah, like we were carefree.
They didn't make a
This
TV
was
show
news.
called I Love the 90s for no goddamn reason. The 90s were great.
All I kept thinking was like, this is what the news was before we were bombing, Middle East, and
Yeah.
people were like, oh, I wonder what the kids are doing down at the park tonight.
Yeah.
Before everything went completely south.
Yeah.
And I really miss that. I'd love to open up the newspaper and find out what the kids are smoking down at the park.
Yeah, that would be nice. That'd be a nice change. And not who the kids are stabbing down at the park.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, they get scooped by what I can only assume is another undercover student. And I'm trying to figure out who that is. I have theories. And Gus says, listen, these are the people. Like, this is where it's happening. This is where all the interesting stuff is. You need to befriend the cool kids. We get the next day. She's rolling up to school. We meet a character who they make it seem like we should know who he is, right?
Works in the office?
Did we ever see him before this point?
No.
This guy named George, rolls up in a van, looks super cool. But again, he's asking, he rolls up in a van at the school, opens the door, and asks a girl who's posing as a high school student to get in his van. This guy should probably end up in jail too.
Well, not only that, he then proceeds to mic her up, to put a camera on her, and say, go in there and film me some high school students without anybody knowing.
Yes, which is very problematic in itself, because she's got this camera on her in the bathroom, in the girls' locker room, and everybody's watching it. And so he mics her up. He works for the paper. He's going to be like the guy in the van. He's watching the cameras. He's kind of getting all the footage, seeing what's going on.
What do they call it in superhero? The guy in the chair? The man in the chair?
Yeah, the guy in the chair, yeah. So,
Alfred.
And as she's walking into school, she's following behind the mean girls. And George goes, man, high school girls didn't look like that when I was in high school. I was like, oh my God. Why is everybody in this movie a pervert? I forgot to mention that the night before this, she's with her brother, again, explaining to him that she has to become popular and become one of the cool kids. And he's kind of amping her up and hyping her up and telling her she can do it. At one point, she shows him some pictures of the girls in high school. And he goes, those girls are 16?
What is in the water in this town?
I don't know. I kept waiting for Chris Hansen to pop out.
You know what? Maybe I have a theory. You know how when these pederasts get put on the list and they all end up living in the same place, the same. Maybe this is that part of town.
Maybe. They go to knock on somebody's door, hey, I have to tell you something. He's like, oh, you too? Me too. High five.
Yeah, everybody in
You're not going to believe the girls in this town.
Oh.
So
I'm queasy, man.
So she goes in to school and she's attempting to become popular. She blows off a denominator's function because she gets a flyer for a party that the cool kids are having. Or not even that they're having, but they're going to the club to see some kind of weird salsa fusion, reggae.
It's a samba reggae band?
Yeah, which it was the 90s. This kind of shit was cool at the time.
Was it?
Yeah, but fuck, dude, Live in La
I would
Vida
never
Loca.
blow off anything to go to a samba.
Live in La Vida Loca came out in 99. People were digging the Latin fusion and the samba and the reggae.
I guess I missed it. I just didn't get it.
Well, yeah, we weren't those kids. We weren't. No. The cool kids were going to see this, CJ. We were sitting at home listening to the Marilyn Manson and I don't even know, Rammstein.
I mean, weed was a big part of my life back then. I probably would have gone to a party no, I wouldn't have.
So I'm glad that you say that weed was a big part of your life, because I have some questions involving this next scene.
Okay.
She goes into the reggae club and she's hanging out. She gets a little stamp on her hand because she walks in and the guy's like, are you drinking? And she's like, no, sir, I'm only 17. I'm a high school student, real loud. And I'm like, well, you sound like you're full of shit right now, but okay. So she gets the stamp. She goes in. We see that Mr. Coulson, hot English teacher, is at this club as well.
With his age-appropriate girlfriend.
Who he doesn't seem to be into. I'm guessing she got older, and he's decided that he's not interested anymore.
Man.
But you can tell that they're not really meant for each other. She wants to move to New York. He's kind of like iffy on it.
She's an adult.
Yeah, exactly. So we meet these, we see them, and then we see all the cool kids are there. The three mean girls have choreographed an entire dance, which seemed odd to me. Like, they had a whole choreographed dance just in front of, like, their table. They weren't doing it for anybody, just, I don't know. It seemed weird. That's what high school girls do. I don't know. I wouldn't know because I'm a 42-year-old man who doesn't concern himself with what high school girls do, CJ.
Or go to bars with an abundance of high school children.
Yeah. But the teacher's there with a bunch of his students. But then there's, like, other people. Like, Josie has an assistant named Merkin who is also there. So he's kind of hanging out,
He's the only
too.
person I wanted to punch in this movie just because they were an asshole.
Did you recognize him, by the way?
No. He just seemed very punchable.
So he's been in a ton of stuff. Do you remember in the 90s there was a milk commercial where a guy ate a bunch of peanut butter and then there was a radio contest asking who shot Alexander Hamilton?
And he's going,
Amber! That's that guy. He has been in so much stuff. He's actually in a movie that I know you love. He's in The People Under the Stairs.
Oh.
He plays Roach, the kid with no tongue that, like, helps the little girl or the little boy.
Wow, I'm really hoping you didn't just know this. You had to look.
No, I
this up.
recognize him immediately from People Under the Stairs. And I also know he's in that. I just know this guy because he's in everything. That was
What's
a weird.
my middle name?
I don't know.
It's good to know you remember the.
I know that guy's name is Sean Whalen. I don't know what your middle name is.
Wow.
I'm sorry. Weird side tangent. Let's get back to the movie. So they're in the reggae club. She tries to hang out with the mean girls again. They shoo her off. So she sits down with some Rastafarians that are just chilling out in a corner on a couch. And the Rastafarian is very welcoming. He's kind of like, oh, we're all about love here. We love everybody. Come sit with us. And they offer her a brownie. And he goes, this is ganja cake. And she's like, oh, I love chocolate. She knows, like, every word in the fucking dictionary. She is a copy editor. She's educated. Does she not know what ganja means?
Apparently not.
So she houses this fucking cake and then gets real high. This is what I want to ask you. Is that what weed does? Because I don't smoke weed. And she gets, like, real, like, up and, like, and then she basically dances through the club, gets up on the stage, and then starts doing a dance with the band.
I can tell you, it's been quite a few years for me.
Okay.
But the last time.
But you were smoking weed in 1999.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
That's the kind of weed we're talking about,
Never
my guy.
made me dance.
Yeah.
Gave me the giggles. Made me think that the Boondock Saints was an amazing movie.
And it is.
You know, it has its moments. But I can say, like, the last time, which is probably, years ago, I got so much anxiety that I cleaned around the base of my toilet with my own toothbrush.
Oh, well, that's nice.
As far as I remember, it never makes you get up and, like, dance with a samba band. It makes you think about that girl in middle school that dumped you.
Yeah. I thought this would have been better if they would have, like, spiked her drink in some way. And she got drunk. Because she was acting more drunk than high, in my opinion.
Exactly.
But she gets
Now,
up.
I have gotten drunk and decided to dance.
Yeah,
somewhere.
exactly. I didn't think that this was how weed worked. But, so this happens. She gets on stage. It doesn't really do anything for her one way or the other. Everybody's kind of watching her like it's just more awkward than anything. But then they're also kind of like, well, this is kind of cool. Like, she seems a little more open and out there than we thought she was. So it's kind of like a little bit of an in, you think, maybe, for her to be the cool kid.
Yet again, they introduce another character. The Rastafarian guys.
Yeah.
You're like, cool, Rastas, awesome. They immediately drug a child. It's somebody they think is a child.
Well, she doesn't actually ever really say, like, well, her age to them. She just asks if she can sit, so.
She's just hanging out with all the high schoolers.
I guess. I mean, I'm not going to blame those guys. Maybe they weren't really,
I don't know.
They might not have
This
been paying
bothered me
attention.
too. Also, you don't give away drugs. Like, they're expensive.
That was a big cake. Like, I
It
can't
was.
imagine, like I said, I don't partake, but I know a little bit that usually, like, with edibles, like, you just need, like, a little piece. Like, this was like a full-size cake that she ate the entire thing. Like, she probably should have died. Or, something should, they pump her stomach. I don't know.
Man, she'd have been very high for very long.
Yeah. So she goes home that night, falls asleep on her kitchen counter. And, she has a little stamp on her hand that the name of the club is Delosier. But if you take the D and the E away, it spells loser. Right? Falls asleep with her head on her hand. The ink transfers to her forehead. She doesn't realize it, wakes up, late for school, runs in, loser across her forehead. And as she's walking into school, she thinks she's going to be real cool because of the night before. And everyone is just pointing at her and laughing at her and saying, loser, loser, loser.
I do give them props because she's wearing the same dress from the party.
Yeah, she just threw like a sweater
She's
over
got
top
like
of it.
a morning after sort of vibe.
Yeah, so, everyone's ridiculing her, hassling her, and this kind of triggers her PTSD from her high school days. She runs into the bathroom, and we get another flashback. So I glossed over, another flashback that there was earlier where the popular kid in school, Billy, the guy that, like, she was so into, asks her to the prom. We all know. Like, we've seen Carrie. This isn't, like, a real asking to the prom. Something bad is going to happen to her. Like, this is a joke, right?
Yeah.
We all know it, but she doesn't. So after this whole exchange with the loser stamp, she runs in the bathroom. We get the flashback that shows what happened on prom night. She's getting ready in her dress. She goes out to the front porch to get picked up. He pulls up in a big stretch limo. He pops up out of the moonroof. She's all happy to see him. Then this other girl pops out of the moonroof, who's obviously his date. And he chucks an egg 100 miles an hour. And
Pinpoint accuracy.
hits her in the eye. Like, she should have probably had, like, some serious injuries.
Like, they should have shown that from the side of this egg just rocking her off her feet.
It just took her out. And then the date hits her with another egg, and then they drive away. And this actually was a really sad scene, I thought. She is just completely crushed. Like, breaks down, basically just in a fucking fetal position, crying on her front porch at this point. She runs off before, like, her family can see her, and then
this is sociopath behavior. Like, who treats another human?
I think I
like
wrote that down. I was like, Billy is a psychopath. Like, you don't do that to someone unless, like, you're also, like, pulling the wings off of flies and, like, dissecting animals, like, in your garage. Like, this guy's a fucking lunatic. It's just, thank God that she didn't ever have to deal with that guy again. So we get that. She tries to run out of the school crying. It gets clocked with a door. So we go from, like, a scene of her young self getting, like, massive head trauma to a scene of her, like, now getting massive head trauma.
Like slapstick too.
Yeah,
like
it was
she gets hit. She crosses her eyes.
Yeah, it was actually pretty funny. It was a good. I enjoyed that. And then we see that the person that hit her with the door is her brother Rob, who has decided that, he's been inspired by her breaking of the law, which I have to assume this is a crime, to enroll in a high school as a 25-year-old and pose as a 25 as a high school student. Right?
It would definitely
like, it's frowned upon.
It would irk me if I found out that I had children in a high school and that adults were just like, no, I'm gonna join too.
Yeah, definitely frowned upon. But Rob's been inspired by her, and he wants to go back to high school,
live his glory days.
He was a ex. He used to play baseball. He was pretty good. He had a shot to go pro, but apparently, for whatever reason, he got sick at one point and he couldn't make it. So now he wants to go back and play ball for the high school, and also help her become cool, because he thinks that he's going to be cool immediately. And Josie says, "There's no way you're just going to come in here on day one and be the most popular guy in the school." Smash cut to him in the cafeteria downing a gallon bucket of coleslaw.
Coleslaw food.
Coleslaw food.
Is what it says on the side of it.
It's not real coleslaw. It's coleslaw food from the school cafeteria. He's having a coleslaw eating contest with another guy, smokes him, and all of a sudden, because Rob ate a bucket of coleslaw, he's the most popular guy in school.
And it just makes me think of worst job on this planet is gotta be high school janitor, right?
I don't know if it's the worst job on the planet, but it probably has its moments that are pretty gross.
Like when you walk in and there's just fucking coleslaw everywhere.
Yeah. But I will say this: if eating buckets of coleslaw is cool, then
consider me Miles Davis.
Exactly. 'Cause I can eat a bucket of coleslaw. So yeah, Rob immediately ingratiates himself into the high school. And then a young girl sits down next to him and says, "I'm 16, I'm a gymnast, and I'm single." And Rob's like, "All right." This man is 23 years old. So Rob gets himself a 16-year-old girlfriend, essentially. First day in school. Way to go, Rob.
Good work, buddy.
So we get that, and then we get a little scene where Aldous, Lily Sobieski's character, asks Josie where she's been, because she was supposed to be at a Denominators thing the night she went to the reggae concert. She blew her off for that, so at this point, Aldous is like, well, then you could just forget about sitting with us. So just like that,
goes over the table, pulls open her little black book, puts one more name in.
The Denominator Mafia has got another name on the hit list. So, that friendship, we get that little implosion, a little friendship implosion. And then we just get kind of A bunch of scenes of Rob basically building up Josie's character, like telling everybody like rumors about her. She used to date the drummer from the Big Bad Voodoo Daddies. I enjoyed that name drop. That was very 90s. Like if you had to pick like a 90s band name to drop, that was the one to do it. Also implies that they dated at one point to some of the guys, which is weird because
It's just awkward.
they
right
don't
there.
know it's his sister, but we know. And that made me feel icky. Then we get the carnival scene.
Wait. There is a point before this. I was hoping you'd bring it up.
Oh, no, please go ahead.
Sex ed class.
Oh, was that before this? Yeah, I was going to totally gloss over that.
Creepy teacher is the English teacher.
Yeah.
Is also teaching sex ed for some weird
Well, no,
reason.
he's not. They combine the two classes, like he said, because there's a bunch of people in the class. They combine the classes. He's just kind of like, all right, so I don't know about your high school experience. Let's talk about this for a minute. I had sex ed. I don't know if you did. So our sex ed was mostly just health class, and it was run by our male gym teacher. But I think they kept.
I was gonna say.
But I think they did like a sex ed class for the guys, sex ed class for the girls. Like they kept it separate.
Absolutely.
So we had that, but then we also had someone like a guest speaker come in who was a woman into our class and talk to all of us, like as a class, boys and girls, and our teacher was there. So like I feel like he was just the middleman because he is about to introduce like the guest speaker, like who was a woman, but it ends up being Molly Shannon because she ends up coming in to see her for lunch and gets mistaken for the sex ed.
It was kind of a funny scene.
It was very funny.
What do you think? Did you have to put condoms on bananas?
No, we didn't do that.
That seems like a waste of resources on the food and the condom side. I mean, we were in it was a public high school, so we knew how to put condoms on naturally. We were already at that point.
We all heard about the story about your mom, the condom lady.
Yeah,
so
we needed to learn how to breastfeed. Like we were already at that point.
But yeah, I don't think he was teaching the sex ed class. But yeah, we get that little scene.
My gym teacher.
No, see, I didn't skip. That was coming up later. We're gonna come back to that.
Okay.
We're gonna come back to that. A quick story though. So when we had the lady come in and do our sex ed class, we didn't have to put condoms on anything, but she had condoms and she pulled them out. And one of her things was like, girls, you should always make sure the guy's wearing a condom. And if a guy ever tells you it doesn't fit, and that's why he won't wear it, just watch this. And she took a condom and she fucking Howie Mandel'd it and like opened it and stuck it over her head down to her nose and then breathed through her nose and blew a giant bubble on top of her head.
I'm going to show you a picture of my mom. I want to make sure this wasn't her.
But yeah, so that was my sex ed experience. She was a fucking prop comic. Like it was like Carrot Top was teaching sex ed.
That's memorable.
Yeah, it was memorable.
See, we did sex ed. We had 2 classes a year in health class. Like 2 periods a year they did this. Mm-hmm. And it was straight up my gym teacher who was hired as a gym teacher, definitely not as a health instructor.
Yeah.
And him just telling stories about his friend, air quotes, that caught gonorrhea in college. Oh yeah, it burned every time he peed. It was awesome. This guy did not give a shit about us.
I felt like my gym teacher had never had sex and was giving us sex ed, so we were on 2 different spectrums there.
Oh.
So we get, before this scene that we're talking about, we get a little carnival, like a fair they're putting on to pay for the prom, which I feel like the Ferris wheel rental, it can't be cheap.
No.
So for them to rent a Ferris wheel and set up a giant fair to pay for the prom, probably could have just not done that and paid for the prom. But I digress. So we get Josie at the prom. She gets on the Ferris wheel by herself. The Ferris wheel operator, real dick, was like, we got a loner here. We got a single one on the Ferris wheel, just screaming it out.
Sometimes you just want to hop on a Ferris wheel.
Yeah.
Is there something wrong with that?
But more than likely, he was part of this underground cabal of older men who were grooming the youths. So he was just kind of calling out to all the other perverts in the crowd, hey, lonely 17-year-old on the Ferris wheel here. And, English teacher Mr. Colson ears perked up and he's like, oh, well, I should probably go get on that Ferris wheel with that young lady.
Wait, I'm a pederast.
Yeah. So
allow me.
He gives a little wink to the Ferris wheel operator and hops in the seat. So we get a little scene with them on the Ferris wheel. Very creepy stuff. One of the boys, like the mean boys, is in the Ferris wheel also and is kind of just being a dick to like both of them. Like just a real hooligan, if you will. And he kind of says, unfortunately, like some boys never grow out of that. Like you're going to deal with that your whole life. Like some guys are just assholes from now until forever. But he also says to her, But don't worry, like when you're older, boys will be lined up around the block to date you. And she says, you just saying that because you have to, because you're my teacher. He's like, actually, I shouldn't be saying that because I'm your teacher.
Well,
And
at least
again,
he knows that he's wrong. Like he knows that he is not a good person.
like a lot of this movie had me just going, ugh.
Yes.
Some more inappropriate relations from the teacher to. Then we go to the sex ed class. So all these rumors of Josie being this cool girl have spread throughout the school. She's finally starting to get some traction. An announcement over the intercom at the end of the sex ed class says that another rival school has chosen the Millennium as their prom theme. So now they can't do it for some reason. But everyone is furious. And they throw out a couple ideas. One kid says Under the Sea, which I thought was kind of cool because that's the prom theme from Back to the Future.
Oh.
And they go, it's been done. And then somebody suggests the 80s and they say no. Guy, the cool guy from the school.
Yeah, he's the one that like makes up all the quotes.
Rufus.
Rufus. Yeah, he says, that's so Rufus.
That's the other thing. Like that, they were doing Mean Girls stuff before Mean Girls because Mean Girls was like fetch. Stop trying to make Rufus happen, CJ.
Don't worry, I won't.
So he stands up and says to the class, Josie will know the answer. This seemed way out of left field and unearned because I don't really know like why all of a sudden she was the one to go
This kid gave me real Bono vibes. Like
he was certainly a douche.
Yes, exactly. Like he's what I imagine if you were to hang out with Sting or Bono.
It was like young Bono. Like if there was a series about like Bono's high school days.
Like
Kinda
somebody
young
told
Sheldon,
him he was cool, and
Bono.
he's been feeding off of that his entire life.
Yeah. And Josie suggests meant to be together was the theme, and it was going to be famous couples through history, and they love it. And from this point forward, she's in the cool clique. So we get a bunch of scenes, more montages, like her and the Mean Girls hanging out. Also, a lot more her and the teacher flirting. Like there's a lot of scenes of like them like working on stuff for the prom, where like painting a mural and like she's dabbing paint on his nose and he's dabbing paint on her nose, and it's real fucking creepy.
I mean, you know when you're being flirted with, right?
Oh yeah, and so here's the thing too. So the newspaper is starting to realize this because all this is on camera, so they're starting to see that this is where the story's at, and they want to do like they're telling Josie like this guy likes you, like you like him, like this is the story because he's trying to hit on a high school girl.
Yes.
So the school actually has the wherewithal to know that like this is wrong.
I had to stop the movie.
Yeah.
And Google, are newspapers allowed to entrap people?
Are they?
And they are, but it is very much frowned upon. Some newspapers basically say, we will not do that. And then other ones are like, gotcha journalism, let's do it.
Yeah. So John C. Reilly's character is like, this is the story. And, you know, she has conflicting thoughts about it because she doesn't want to get him in trouble, even though he's clearly a petter ass. So we get this, you know, we see that their relationship is still forming. There's some story, you know, he tells some more information than he really should be giving to a high school girl about his relationship and his girlfriend at the time, who he doesn't think he wants to be with anymore. Like, if I was in high school and a teacher started telling me stuff like that, I'd immediately would, like, slowly just back out of the room and just be like, no, I'm good.
Yeah, you don't need to know
like,
any
thank
of
you.
this.
Yeah, like, don't you have any friends your own age to talk to? Then we get a party scene where Rob, the brother who's now the cool guy in school, is throwing a whole house party at his parents' house. So yet again, lots of alcohol, which I can only assume Rob furnished for this party as a 23-year-old man, and a bunch of like 16 and 17-year-old kids getting drunk.
Is that a thing anymore? Do adults still buy their kids?
I don't know.
booze?
And like I had friends whose like parents would let them drink or like have them over.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
And it was more like, you know, it was always the thing like, well, if you're going to do it, I'd rather you be safe and do it here. That's one thing. It's another thing for a guy posing as a high school student.
Oh, he should have been in jail.
To buying a bunch of alcohol and then allowing a bunch of high school kids to come over to his house and party.
And filling his house with these children.
Including the bedrooms, which we're going to get to. So, Guy grabs Josie and says, hey, I need something I need to ask you. Can we go find a private spot? They go through the house, and, you know, Josie's room is the only one that's available because, according to Guy, all these other rooms are being taken up by serious couples. Inferring that, like, there are, you know, David Arquette has furnished alcohol for a bunch of teens, and now they're all getting each other pregnant in the different bedrooms in his home.
I just feel like an old man. Just everything about this. An old, bitter man listening to this story.
Old man yells at cloud.
Yeah.
So Guy takes Josie into her high school bedroom, or her youth bedroom. She has to quickly like hide pictures and stuff because they don't know their brother and sister, and there's pictures of them together. And Guy asks her in like the worst possible way to go to prom with. It wasn't like very good. But he asks her to go to prom, and Josie is just like, face lights up and is just happy that the cool kid invited her to prom. I don't have a problem with this relationship anymore, because at no point does Josie seem actually interested in the 17-year-old boy. Not from the time she originally sees him and her face kind of splooshes because he's the cool kid. Like, never again does she seem like romantically interested in him.
No, but she still accepts to go to prom with him.
She does, but I'm going to say it's for the story. Like, she still has to be in with the cool kids. Like, she's still trying to get some kind of scoop. So this relationship I give a pass pretty much from the beginning of the movie, because I don't really see her trying to date this guy. Like, they don't even kiss. Like,
I was just doing my job was also a defense the Nazis used.
Jesus. So they don't even kiss. Like, he asks her to prom, and like, she's like, okay, sure. And he's like, all right, well, see you later. And I get the feeling that guy's not really interested in her either. Like, it's just because she's the cool thing now. And like, he wants to take her to prom because she's the coolest girl in school all of a sudden, and he's the coolest guy in school.
Status symbol.
Just makes sense, right? So he invites her to prom. She says yes. I think we can cut to prom at this point.
Prom's awesome.
The prom is awesome. I don't think a lot of these kids understood the assignment, because they were supposed to come in costume dressed as like different characters, like were meant to be together through time. Like, I saw like a group of people dressed up as the Village People.
I have a short list here.
Okay. Some of them were good. Some of them made no sense.
We saw the Village People. Mm-hmm. We saw Hunter S. Thompson and his lawyer from Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
That. Yeah, I love that.
That was cool. I saw a Lincoln and John Wilkes Booth.
Wow.
Yes.
Not meant to be
Deep.
together.
And then my favorite was the Joseph and Mary, who come up and ask for a seat at the table, and they tell them there's no room.
That was low-key hilarious. Like, I fucking laughed, and I was like, that is such a smart joke for like a really dumb movie.
That might have been my favorite joke in this entire movie.
Yeah. And I get the impression like the high school girl was actually pregnant, and that's why they went as Mary and Joseph, because after like the mean girls tell them they can't sit there because there's no room, the one looks at her and she goes, that's so sad for them. I was like, oh, goddamn. Adult themes. Before we get to prom, though, we get Josie shows up at her brother's house, her parents' house. He is going as Tom Cruise from Risky Business. So here again, we have a grown man going to a high school prom wearing nothing but a pair of tighty whities and a button-up dress shirt.
At no point during this table reading was anybody concerned.
This man should be in jail. But that's not what happens to him. No. We'll find out. So we get the prom. Everything's going pretty good. The only two teachers at the school are kind of running things. They announced prom court, and it's, oddly enough, like you would think it would have been the three mean girls, but it wasn't. It was just three random girls. But then you get all the guys' cool friends. So you get like James Franco and the other couple guys, which we totally glossed over the fact that James Franco's in this movie.
Who actually is a real-life evil
allegedly
person.
Yeah, I think that's alleged territory. I mean, yes, but like, I don't know. I don't want to get
I don't know. If you told me he raped somebody, I'd be like, yeah, I get it.
I don't want to get sued by James Franco. Maybe this is where we learned it. I learned it on the set of Never Been Kissed, Dad.
Yeah.
So James Franco is in this movie, his first acting credit, barely has any lines. And like when I first saw him, I was like, holy shit, is that James Franco? Like he's just in the background. Like I thought he was going to be like a background friend. I think he does have a line or two, but nothing very serious. So the three guys get picked, and then we get our prom king and queen. It's Josie and Guy. She finally gets her wish of being the most popular girl in school. She's prom queen. She's there with the coolest guy. She's done it. You know, she's relived her high school life as her best life.
I mean, it's kind of like going in with a cheat code, though. You're
You know
basically
everything.
entering high school at 25 years old with a lot more knowledge.
I thought that when this movie started, and I was like, this girl had a horrible time in high school, and she goes back to high school and has a chance to start brand new and rolls in and immediately joins the math club. So, you know, yes, she had all that prior information, but it took a lot of work to get there. And it took like help from her brother. Like she just wasn't cool. Like it's just not who she is. And that's fine. But it was never going to happen without a little help from the outside. So those two get announced, prom king and queen. They have their dance. And here yet again, we've got the English teacher lurking in the background, watching them dance, clearly upset that she's dancing with someone else. Yes, I know she's technically 25 years old. This guy doesn't know that.
No.
This whole movie is a way older teacher being attracted to a 17-year-old.
May I point out,
please,
because we're leading pretty soon into the big reveal that she is 25.
Yes.
When he learns this, that's when he gets angry and stomps out of the building.
Yeah, he walks out in a huff.
Because she's 25.
Yeah. So, jumped a little bit ahead there, but they do their first dance. She's over getting some punch. English teacher comes up to her. They start small talk, tells her she looks beautiful as a homecoming queen. Stepping over boundaries left and right. Asks her to dance. Could you imagine? Did you go to your prom?
I did not.
Okay.
We had the after party at my house, though.
There you go. I went to mine. I just couldn't imagine like a teacher dancing with a student. It's the weird... And I graduated in 1999 when this movie takes place. It would have been unthinkable for a teacher to dance with one of the students.
It definitely would have been questioned.
Yes. God, they would have lost their job. I guarantee they would have. So they dance, and it's at this point, she is about to tell him, like she tells him that she has a confession to make, and he tells her that he wants to tell her something. So she turns the camera off because she doesn't want to get him in trouble. It's at this point, you know he's about to tell her that he's interested in her.
Yeah.
Still doesn't know she's 25. Takes the camera off, but then realizes that the Mean Girls are about to do a prank on Aldous, who's at the prom. They're about to dump dog food on her because her nickname's Alpo. She doesn't tell him what's going to happen. She runs over, saves her at the last second. The dog food goes all over the girls. They say, oh, we knew you weren't cool. And this is when she rips the crown off and basically confesses. She's like, you know what? I'm 25 years old. I'm not a 17-year-old. This is all bullshit. Being cool in high school wasn't going to mean anything to you in 10 years. Like, I've been like breaking my back to try to make you think that I'm cool. And I don't even know why. Like, you're all horrible people. And at this point, when she goes, I'm 25, the English teacher is like, oh shit, I'm going to go to jail now. I need to get the fuck out of here. Oh, and she also says, I'm a reporter. So he's like, holy shit. So he hightails it out because she's not 17 and he's a pervert. So he hustles out the door.
Oh, man.
She does her whole big thing, leaves. David Arquette has a pretty good line because he's like trying to like, oh, because she blows up his spot too. She's like, and that's my brother. He's 23. So he's like, oh, I thought she was going to kill all of us there for a minute, like a whole Carrie situation. And he slowly backs out of the door because he's probably also going to go to prison. She goes outside. George, the guy from the van, runs up and, hey, did we get anything on Coulson? The camera cut out. Coulson's off to the side. He hears all this. Then he gets up, and my favorite, he's like, I can't look at you the same way anymore. Because he thought she was 17. What the fuck? So, he leaves. She's heartbroken. She reconnects with her brother. He's mad at her because he blew everything because this was his big chance. Not only to get back onto the baseball field, but also probably bang a 16-year-old gymnast. He's pretty upset that she blew up his spot as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, she goes back to the newspaper. Her and Gus are going to get fired because there's no story. And she says, I will get you a story. Next scene, she's back on the school campus. Somehow they let this woman back on campus after pretending to be a high school student.
She gets back on campus.
I know what you're going to say.
And her first move is let's march through the boys' locker room while they are all naked and changing.
She does give a warning. She says, hey, if you don't want me to see it, cover it up.
Yeah. You go to the gym a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want you to give that a shot in the women's locker room.
You don't want to see it, cover it up.
Yeah, it's just march in there to do some business, whatever you need to do.
You're right. It wouldn't go over well. But for her, it's fine.
Who is now known for this kind of bullshit.
Yeah. She's definitely 25 years old, and she's walking through a locker room of naked
She
preteens.
should have been sniped while she was parking the car.
Jesus. She shouldn't be allowed within 500 yards of a school.
That's true.
Nobody in this movie should. So she goes in, talks to the coach of the baseball team because their big championship's coming up, and says, hey, I can get a bunch of big-time news reporters, sports people at your game if you can do me a favor. So he agrees. Then we get a voiceover. It's her article that she's written, kind of talking about what she learned from the school and everything, and then says that she hurt someone, doesn't name him, which is nice, because otherwise that guy would probably be on a list somewhere.
I mean, he is already at home packing up his house to move. I assume to a new school district where nobody knows who he is.
Essentially a country where they can't extradite you.
Yeah.
So he's packing up, getting ready to move. She writes this article and says, hey, I'm going to this game. I'm going to stand on the pitcher's mound for 5 minutes. That's how long I'm going to stand there. And if you show up, then it means that you care and that, I want to kiss you. So anyway, by not naming him, everybody finds out who the fuck he is anyway because he shows up. So the logic behind that is kind of flawed. So there's probably like a SWAT team in the bushes where as soon as this guy walks onto the field, he's tackled and dragged away. Chris Hansen walks out of the field. So what were you going to do with those wine coolers? What was your whole plan here tonight?
Chris Hansen probably got the idea for his show while watching this movie. It's
definitely a possibility to catch an English teacher. So he shows up and they kiss and it's beautiful. And also somehow everyone at the school who at the prom was like, "You're not cool anymore. We hate you," are all cheering for her and happy for her again.
Yeah, they're all into this.
And then the real stinger, the real kicker for me, is after he shows up and they kiss, we pan into the dugout and we find out that David Arquette's character, he was pretending to be a high school student, dating a 16-year-old, infiltrated this school. They've given him a job.
His job should be sorting books in the prison library.
He should be making license plates somewhere.
Yes. He now works at a high school.
With children. He works with the children.
WCW World Champion David Arquette.
And I'm not going to take anything away from the man. He earned that title. He fought for it. But in this movie, he's a fuck goddamn pedo. So yeah, I mean, that's this movie. I mean, everyone in this movie should be in prison. No one should be allowed within 500 yards of a school.
Agreed.
Okay, so yeah, that is this movie, CJ, in a nutshell. Would you like to give it any flowers? Do you have any grand gestures for this movie?
I can't harp on enough about how wrong this was. Also, their relationship, I give that a week. Like, there's no possible way they could stick together.
If he stays a teacher, like, as soon as he's, like, comes home and he's like, "Oh, I'm tutoring a new student," she's like, "Who the fuck is she? Like, I know you like 17-year-old girls. I was there."
Yeah, I wouldn't let him go back to a school. Like, that's...
He should not be allowed to teach anymore. I mean, hopefully at least that came from this. Never been kissed, never been hired again. Like, you're out of work, sir.
I do like that Molly Shannon and John C. Reilly end up together, at least for that night.
Did they?
Yeah, they start kissing in the ball field.
Oh, okay, good. Because there is a scene, I missed that. Yeah, they do, because there's a scene where she's kind of like asking him why he doesn't have a girlfriend.
And that's something actually we haven't even mentioned is they do like a whole Truman Show thing throughout this, because she's mic'd up and has a camera. Everybody in the office is now watching the live feed.
And presumably she's using the bathroom, like she's in the girls' bathroom, she's in the girls' locker room.
Everybody in the office is watching this. By the end of the movie, it's like 30 people around a little television.
Yeah. I like the music.
Oh, one thing I did want to shout out.
Okay.
Did you catch who was the security guard that checks her in at the school?
It's one of the Wilson brothers.
It is Andrew Wilson.
Yeah.
Also known as Beef Supreme.
Yeah.
From Idiocracy.
Yeah, he's not Luke Wilson, he's not Owen Wilson. He's the other Wilson.
He's actually my favorite Wilson because he played Beef Supreme in Idiocracy.
Yeah. I do enjoy him, yeah.
But yeah, that was about it.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't say anything nice about this movie. I really liked Lily Sobieski. The music was good. I did get like a real nostalgia. Like it made me just remember my high school year because of the fashion, like fucking Jinko jeans, like fucking chain wallets, just like that kind of like style. It was that late 90s, everything was like a little poofy. And
I should have enjoyed this movie a lot more than I didn't.
And there's
because of those things. Because there's
reasons we didn't.
Yeah, this movie takes place right in the best years, and does the worst things with it.
Yeah,
but so you don't have any flowers for it?
No, I mean I'm just looking at my notes trying to think. I do think that all those kids that went to that prom are gonna have a really good story. Like in 20 years, like that's probably like they all found out that some girl that they thought was a student was actually 25 years old and undercover. Like that's a pretty cool like. Remember how your prom ended? Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. It was fucking crazy. Mine was just depressing. Like, I didn't have anything cool like that. So, yeah.
How would you turn this chick flick into a dick flick?
You asking me first?
Yeah.
I'll go. Have you ever seen or heard of a movie called Spotlight?
I have not.
So, it's a dramatic movie about the Boston Globe uncovering the Catholic priest, like, sex scandal.
Oh.
Like, they broke the story.
Oh,
so we're gonna do that.
A real feel good story for the kids.
We're gonna kind of focus more on the newsroom side of this and not as much on the school side of it.
Okay.
And they know that there is like a weird like child grooming like pedo ring at this school. And they have to get undercover and infiltrate it. Drew Barrymore's character is like this baby face like reporter who doesn't know about what's going on. And they give her this assignment without her knowing what she's there to do. So it's more like the ins and outs of the news cycle in the newsroom and like kind of more of a dramatic piece.
Okay.
Where they are trying to like bust this guy for being a total pervert. And then, at the end of the movie, finally, like we literally like some guy in a bush like pops out and tackles the shit out of this guy. I'm also taking the, I don't want to steal anything because I have a feeling because you brought some things up. I don't want to ruin any of your stuff. So I think I'm going to stick with that. Like that's going to be it.
Okay.
For me. Yeah, it's just more of a dramatic like spotlight piece where it's like a serious movie where they're trying to bust like a pedophile ring at this school. And they send a girl in undercover. And
I, too, went with the undercover route.
Okay.
Me with the police. Where, the movie's going on the exact same way. She's undercover for, not for the police, but she's undercover for her newspaper and the tyrant that runs it.
Yeah.
But as these weird things that we've been harping on this entire time continue to happen, students are disappearing.
Oh.
Teachers are disappearing. And it's more because every time their undercover camera work catch this, they just actually arrest these people and put them in jail. But they thought they were coming in just to bust a teacher. By the end of the movie, they have arrested no less than 30 people.
I like that because
they're like it's like when you reach into a bag of M&Ms and you're like, oh, the last M&M, but then there's like another one underneath of it. Yeah. You're like, oh, bonus pedophile to arrest. And they're just filling the jails with these terrible
That explains
creatures.
why we only see 2 teachers in this whole school, because all the rest of them are already gone at this point, probably.
Exactly.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's how it should end. Like, the police just being befuddled. Like, how did we not know this was happening?
I like it. All right. Let's Nicolas Cage it.
Yeah.
I'll go first, because mine's real short and sweet.
Sure.
I went with the only nice thing in this movie, Lily Sobieski. The only good person. And this one was so easy. She's in the remake of The Wicker Man.
Oh.
Starring Nicolas Cage. So
You took it right there.
I took it right there. I didn't want to spend any more time on this fucking movie than I had to, CJ. I wanted to think of better times. like Nicolas Cage being stung to death by bees.
I found a great place to put him in here, which is, remember I told you to stick a pin in Dutton getting fired?
Yeah.
So Dutton gets fired because he was also, I can't even remember what the project he was on, but he got scooped by a rival news team.
Okay.
I wanted, so she's doing this in the school, and at some point she walks in and Nicolas Cage is one of the other students. He is the rival reporter who has also now enrolled himself into the school to try to get the scoop. And nobody realizes that this is a 55-year-old man.
Makes me think of that Steve Buscemi meme. It's like, hello, fellow teenagers.
Exactly.
Just Nicolas Cage with a backwards cap and a skateboard.
Yes, and because we respect this man, he doesn't hit on anybody.
Oh, he's
like women are like, wow, you seem so mature, and he's like, please leave me alone.
Just puts his hand in their face and just pushes them away.
Yes.
No.
I want him to be the rival reporter that's scooping people.
I love it. All right. Let's rate it.
1.
You beat me to it. I think I'm gonna go 1.5.
1.5?
I think so. Why did you give it a 1? I mean, it's all the obvious reasons. Don't tell me why you took 4 points off. Tell me why you gave it 1.
The soundtrack was pretty good.
Okay.
What else was? I mean, just the 90s nostalgia. Just not aging well took this so negative for me.
Yeah, it's bad.
It was basically that. Like, not much about this movie was that great. I will say the cast was awesome.
Yeah.
This definitely had I'm a comedy guy. This had one of the best casts. Molly Shannon hits it out of the park.
Yeah.
John C. Reilly, I think, is awesome in it. Lily, I can't say her Sobieski. Yeah, that's about it. Like, I liked the cast. I didn't like the material. I can't believe anybody said, yes, let's do this.
Yeah, who greenlit this?
Here's money to do this?
Yeah.
That is child endangerment.
It really is. It really, truly is. Yeah, so I'm going to go 1.5. Pretty much for the same reasons. The soundtrack I liked. I liked the 90s nostalgia. I liked some of the performances, even though they were like, I honestly thought David Arquette was really good in this, even though he was clearly a slimeball. Like, I thought his funny parts were very funny. Like, I enjoyed David Arquette.
Yeah, I mean, he's the champ.
Yeah, I liked him a lot. Loved Lily Sobieski in this. John C. Reilly, even though they didn't get much to work with. I just like him in general. Molly Shannon was great. I don't want to take anything away from their performances. Like I said, Drew Barrymore doesn't really, just not a fan for whatever reason. Nothing personal. Just don't enjoy her particular brand of acting or comedy. But she was good in this role. Like, I'll say that she did a nice job with the role. Like, she played the kind of awkward outsider, like...
We'll see her again. We'll see. She's in 51st Date. She's in Fever Pitch.
Fever Pitch, I think Riding in Cars with Boys. I think we got some Barrymore on there. Yeah. More Barrymore is what we're going to get.
Let's do it.
Yeah, so 1.5. This movie, like, I mean, obviously taking the 3.5 off for obvious fucking reasons. Like, this movie is full of pedophiles. Like, this, in the real world, no one walks away from this scenario. Like, Drew Barrymore should be in trouble. Like, this English teacher should be in trouble. David Arquette should be in trouble. Like, there is at no point in this movie where anyone does anything, like, good.
Yes.
So, all right. Yeah. Should we pick our next movie?
Yeah, let's do that. How many movies are we up to?
We are at 202.
Ooh. Let's see. Let's hit this random number here. And number 56.
56. Oh. I don't know if you're going to know what this is, CJ. This is an indie... darling, a movie that not many people have heard of.
Ooh, another Lily Sobieski.
Sex and the City. Have you ever heard of Sex and the City, CJ?
The movie?
Yes, the movie. We're not going to watch the whole series. That'd be ridiculous. What we're going to do instead is review a movie that has probably like 5 years of story before it that we probably need to know, and then watch this movie and see how it goes.
Are you going to do it? Are you going to watch any of it?
No, I don't have that kind of time. I can barely fit the movies we watch weekly in. I can't watch the series.
All right, so we do have to figure out, though, the one thing I know about Sex and the City is that everybody is a person. There's a Miranda.
There's a Miranda.
Okay, so, like, you could be a Miranda. I think the male equivalent is Ninja Turtles.
Oh, okay.
So, like, you know, I'm obviously a Donatello.
I'm a Raphael.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we have to figure that out by next week.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good.
We'll have to watch this movie. We'll pick who we are in it.
Wonderful. All right. Well, until next week, when we decide which Sex and the City character we are, please stay romantic and don't be shit at each other. Yeah. Thanks, everybody.
Find some fucking protection.